Have you plateaued? Are you mailing it in? Are you phoning it in on a daily basis? Michael McLean, NoBullBook.com. Get a copy of my brand new controversial book, How to Not Get Your Ass Kicked in Business and in Life. Go to NoBullBook.com. Not having a copy of my physical paper and ink book is like a man not having testicles. You can also subscribe to my righteous, glorious 20-page paper and ink newsletter. It's cleverly called the Michael McLean World Building Newsletter. You can subscribe to it at badassletter.com. So there's a saying in pro and amateur hockey where I have resided for 22 years. He mailed it in or he phoned it in. And what that references, what that means is that the athlete is just going through the motions. They're just going through the motions. I could say to one of my assistant coaches, well, he mailed it in tonight. Or I could say about an opponent that we crushed, I would say, well, that team phoned it in tonight. It's not a compliment. So my question today to you on my broken iPhone 7 here, morning power walk. I'm on the way back. I'm almost at 15,000 steps coming up to the lake house. And by the way, I took our dog Clifford. Leanne took him to the vet the other day, and he's dropped 7 pounds this summer from 2 walks a day, from me upping my power walk, me increasing my road work from 10 or 12,000 steps to 15,000. He's been the benefactor as well. He's dropped 7 pounds, and this is so important for a dog because the same as a human, it takes so much stress off of the legs, the joints, the knees, the hips, the back, and the vet made a note of it and complimented us on how lean and trim and mean Clifford looks. There's a lot of things that Clifford is, but I never thought he'd be referred to as lean and mean. The power of road work, the power of 15,000 steps per day. So my question is, have you plateaued? Have you plateaued in your life? Are you mailing it in? Are you satisfied? Are you done stretching? Are you done growing? Are you done achieving in certain areas in your life? Have you phoned it in without admitting that you've plateaued and you're done? I hope you took the opportunity to watch my dad's 89th video on the weekend with him jumping up unannounced on the kitchen chair and giving a bring down the house humorous thank you speech. Jumping up on the chair by himself unannounced at 89 years old. This Tuesday, my dad will show up at the arena for children's skating, my daughter's school. I do that every Tuesday at 4 o'clock. I take the kids out for power skating for an hour. Guess who's going to show up and lace up the blades at 89 years young? So what's your excuse? You're too fat, you're too out of shape, you drink too much, you got bad knees. Michael, I got bad hips, I got bad ankles, I can't walk. I can't walk until I get my knee surgery. I can't walk until I get my hip surgery. I haven't read in years. I'm not much of a reader. So what you're admitting to yourself is you've plateaued. What you're admitting is that you're mailing it in every day. You're phoning it in. You're no longer interested in growing. You're no longer interested in stretching physically, mentally, spiritually. You're mailing it in. So if you doubt this as fact, let's just go through our badass millionaire world. So in your world, first of all, no particular order, you have your business that generates cash flow. Those are the two words. A great business generates monthly, daily, weekly cash flow. If your business isn't generating at least $100,000 in net profit per month, you're not a serious business. You're not a serious entrepreneur. That's always been my goal in any business that I'm involved in. I haven't hit it in every business, and I certainly didn't hit it until I went through years and years of study. But that's always been my goal, is to hit 100,000K in net cash flow every single month. Whether it's a consulting business, whether it was the insurance agency, regardless, to be in a business where I can, if I show up every day, if I market the right way, I can generate $100,000 a month in net income cash flow. Doesn't matter if it's Christmas, Thanksgiving, summer, winter, fall, spring, cash flow, consistent cash flow. Pays the employees, pays the expenses, pays the government, pays the taxes, pays the surprises. 100,000 minimum net in income cash flow. Whether it's real estate investing, whether it's the insurance business, whether it's the coaching and consulting business, that is the level for serious entrepreneurship. Are you mailing it in? Are you heading towards that direction? Are you trying to get to 30, then to 50, then to 75, then to that glorious 100K per month, which is a magic number? It always has been. Peace of mind comes at 100,000 net per month. That makes you a 7-figure net earner. When I hear the gurus on Facebook and Instagrunt and all these other swamps where full of pretenders, excuse makers, and they talk about making 7 figures. They have no clue what it takes to make 7 figures. They have no clue what 7 figures is. They have no clue what the thinking and the behavior it takes to make 7 figures. I just handed it to you. You have to relentlessly pursue $100,000 net income cash flow per month. That needs to be written on your wall. Write it on the back of your hand. Write it in your journal every single day. Write it in your journal before you go to bed. Write it in your journal when you get up. Think about it when you walk. Think about it when you write. Think about it when you read. Think about it on Sundays, Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays. $100,000 net cash flow income. It could be coming in from multiple sources. It could be coming in from income properties you have in real estate. It could be coming in from continuity, from a newsletter subscription. It could be coming in from insurance policies. It could be coming in from new business that you're generating. Where is it coming from is not important. What's important, to be a 7-figure badass world builder, you need to hit the 100,000K net income every single month, times 12. That is what a 7-figure $1 million earner is targeted on. Then after you do that, your next target is $200,000 a month net, then $300,000 a net, and times that by 12, and you'll understand what that does to your life. You're 1xing, you're 2xing, you're 3xing your net income. That's where peace of mind in business is generated. Or have you plateaued? Are you trapped in your business? Are you a slave to your business? Have you forgotten about why you even got into business? You got into business decades ago for freedom, for independence, for autonomy, for control, for personal sovereignty, to pay for vacations for you and your best friend wife, to pay for college education, to have freedom to do what you want, when you want, with whom you want, on the terms you want, at the price you want. Is that your life now? Or have you surrendered and mailed it in? Are you just phoning it in? Have you plateaued? So let's look at the marketing. Marketing is part of a world builder's life. So as far as marketing goes, okay, are you still growing? Are you still stretching? Are you still studying? Are you still reading? Are you still trying to crack that code of copywriting? Are you still running Operation Money Suck every single day for an hour like I am? Or have you given up on marketing? Have you found it to be too hard? Or are you too old? Are you a dog that's too old to learn new tricks? Or are you like my dad who's, reading 4, 5, 6 hours per day now in retirement? So, have you plateaued with marketing? Have you given up on that? Have you phoned that in? Have you mailed that in? Those are great recommendations, Michael, but I've never been a good marketer. So you phoned it in. What about your marriage? What about your marriage? You're 45, you're 55, you're 65, you're 75 years. Are you phoning that in every day? Are you mailing that in every day? Do you have a special connection with your ride or die partner, or do you have a roommate with a ring? A roommate with a ring. Have you mailed it in? Have you plateaued in terms of the most important relationship in your life? The most important relationship in your life is with your best friend, secret weapon queen. Nobody comes before your queen. Is that how you think and behave? Have you plateaued in that relationship? Or are you just mailing it in? Is your marriage on fire at age 60, at age 70, at age 50? Is your marriage on fire? Do you work at it every day? Do you leave her notes? Do you tell her how much you love her? Do you do special things for her? Do you schedule weekly date nights? Do you schedule 3-day weekends? Do you do surprise vacations? Do you leave her notes on the bathroom mirror? Do you hug her? Do you kiss her? Do you tell her how much you love her and appreciate her? Do you treat her like your queen, your empire building partner? Or is she a roommate, or do you have a roommate with a ring? It's one or the other. You're either growing or you're plateauing. Let's look into your relationship with your children and grandchildren. Has that plateaued? Are you mailing that in? Well, Michael, my kids are raised. They're through college. They're through university. I see them from time to time. Are you connected, or are you disconnected from your children and grandchildren? Do you make time? Do you communicate with them on a daily basis? Do they know that you're their protector and that you're ally, regardless of whether they're children, teenagers, adults? Do they know they can pick up the phone anytime in any circumstance when they're in trouble and need you, and they can pick up the phone and call you and get you and you'll listen? Or have you plateaued? Are you now underfathered? Are you now done with that? Your children are raised. They don't need you anymore. Have you phoned those relationships in? Are you mailing that part of your life in? Let's go to physical health. Are you up walking for an hour every day? Are you out in the beautiful day? Look at this day. If I hadn't got my ass out of bed, if I hadn't laid out my clothes the night before, put my shoes out, put my glasses of water out, I would have missed this glorious, absolutely glorious sunrise this morning. Look behind me. I mean, just incredible time to be in nature. Tomorrow it could be, raining. 2 months from now, it'll be cold. It'll be snowing. I'll still be out here, God willing. Are you out here? Are you moving your body for an hour a day? Are you getting in your 15,000 steps? Are you getting out in the sunshine and nature and fresh air, building your immune system? Or physically, have you given up? Have you decided you can't drop that 45 pounds? Or have you decided that you can't drop that 100 pounds? Have you phoned it in? Have you basically said to your wife and your children that, you know what, I just can't do it. I can't lose the weight. I know how to do it. I know that I have to move. I know that I have to eat a high protein diet. I know I have to reduce the carbs and drink a gallon of water a day. I know that I have to control my environment. In other words, I got to get all the garbage out of my home, all the garbage out of my vehicle, all the garbage out of my life, alcohol, all the carbs, anything in a bag, anything in a box. I know how to lose the weight, but have you basically unconsciously told your best friend and your children you're not willing to do it? Have you mailed it in physically? Are you content to be out of shape, to not be able to do things with your kids, to not be able to go skiing, to not be able to have the energy to continue to build an empire, to not have the energy, whether it's working, whether it's vacations? Are you willing to accept low energy, not feeling that great, a lot of illness? Have you mailed it in physically? Or are you prepared to grow and transform that part of your life? You know how to do it. It's just a question of, is it a priority? When it comes to your mental health, depression, anxiety, stress, tension, just go down the list. Some people wear it as a badge of honor now, especially young people. Well, I'm depressed or I'm anxious or whatever. I always ask those people, the medication, that's fine. But what are you doing physically? How are you moving your body? Are you meditating? Are you journaling? Are you reading real books? Are you praying? And the big one, how much screen time per day? Are you at zero screen time? Have you tried zero screen time for 30 days? Then I'll talk to you about stress, anxiety, depression, and mental illness. Let's do all of those things first before we prescribe pills to our blessed children. Let's do all those things before we start popping medication in our mouth to make ourselves feel a little bit better. Eliminate the screens, get outside, exercise, write, journal, meditate, read, and move your body. Or have you plateaued in that area? Is being sad now part of your identity? Is being sad, are you addicted to being sad? Are you addicted to being unhappy? Or are you willing to snap yourself out of that by walking, by reading, by meditating, by journaling, by hanging out with positive, driven people? Have you plateaued in that area, or are you willing to build something special? Community service. I was shocked when I worked with my world building guys, my top 1% of 1%ers, all doing well financially, all doing well as husbands, as fathers, all kings in their own kingdom, guys that are heroes in their own home. But the big blind spot for most of my guys, not all my guys, but a big blind spot in my 8-week training that I did a few months back, community impact. The only person they were serving was themselves. And I asked the question, I said, okay, this is all great. This is all fantastic. Who are you serving? Who are you helping? Who are you contributing to? And in 70% of the cases, nobody. I haven't done anything charitable-wise, Michael, in a few years. I haven't coached since my kids went to college. I'm not part of the Rotary Club anymore. I don't do anything with children's literacy. I don't do anything. I don't have a 10% giving account. I'm not involved in my community. I'm not giving back. And to their credit, over the 8 weeks, they fixed that blind spot. And they started saying, okay, I'm going to contribute 10% of my time, 10% of my money, 10% of my thinking, 10% of my behavior to serving those I've been called to serve. And that begins by asking yourself every day in your journal for a couple of minutes, who have I been called to serve? Who have I been called to serve? What have you overcome in your life that you could share that story with young people, teenagers, young adults, old people, that would resonate with them and they'd say, if he can do it, then I can do it. But or have you mailed it in? Or have you phoned it in? Have you plateaued in that? Are you done with that? Are you done with your giving back? Your actions, your behaviors tell the tale. Or are you ready to build something special in that part of your life? Plateaued or willing to grow? So you can go all around your world, doesn't matter if it's business or personal, and you can say, you can use all the excuses you want. You know, Michael, I'm almost 65. Michael, I'm almost 70. Michael, I'm almost 80 years old. Like my father says, age is a number. Who gives a shit what age you are? In fact, you have a lot more to share with the world now if you're 60 than you did when you were 40. You have a hell of a lot more to share with the world when you're 70 than you did when you were 50. And you sure as hell have a lot more to share with the world if you're 75 or 80 than you did when you were 55 or 60. You've got all this experience, you've got all this learning, you have all these ideas, you have all this incredible, incredible time-tested knowledge and mastery. Is it going to die with you, or are you going to give it? Give it to your children, give it to your grandchildren, give it to people in your community. Or have you plateaued? Or are you mailing it in? Is it too late for that? And how you talk to yourself is everything. How you write and journal, how you talk to yourself. If you talk to yourself like, you know, I'm an old guy, or I'm almost 80 or something. You know what? It's so funny hanging around my dad who's 89. Never, ever, ever talks like that. Like I said in a couple of my videos, you know what he says? He says, I'm not done yet. That's what he says. You know, people, when he was 65, they come in or insurance agents, they say, oh, Frank, going to be retiring soon. Those tomato cans are long gone. They're dead. Most of those people are dead. Okay? He didn't retire 65, didn't retire 70. They were done talking around 70. They gave up on him retiring at 70. See, they're common, ordinary Joes, right? So they can't understand how somebody like you wants to work the rest of your life, how you want to make a difference the rest of your life, how there's no finish line, that you rest at the end, not in the middle. The great Kobe Bryant, right? He was busier after his Hall of Fame career in basketball. He was busier the last handful of years of his life. And like he said to Tim Grover, his coach, he said, I'll rest at the end, not in the middle. And just the relentless drive towards the next win. So my question for you, if you haven't plateaued, if you're done mailing it in, if you're done phoning it in, my question to you today is, what's your next win? What's the mission? What's the mission in all those areas in your life? A man without a mission is like a man without testicles. A man without a personal mission is a man without testicles. When I talk to somebody that has a personal mission at a barbecue or a stadium or a sporting event or a seminar, I can tell right away. I can tell a man that has a mission. I don't care if you're 50 or if you're 70. I can tell instantly whether you have a mission. What's a mission? A mission is something that's above and beyond everything else in your life but your family. It's you chasing your next championship. It's your next Super Bowl. It's your next World Series win. And 99% of people don't have a mission, have never had a mission, don't even have goals because they've mailed it in. They've phoned it in. They've plateaued. But if I know you need to become a man on a mission. You need to write down in your journal, okay, what do I want to accomplish with the next chapter of my life? Not the final chapter, the next chapter. How the hell do you know how long you're going to live? You'll live as long as your creator says you'll live. And you've been given a tour of duty. You might have another 40 years. You might have another 30 years. You might have another 30 seconds. That's not for us to contemplate and plan. Our job is what's our next win? What's your next championship? How can I help more people? How can I become a better businessman, better marketer, better husband, better father, better grandfather? How can I have more impact on this world before my time is up. Not counting years and blowing out candles. That's for chumps. Champions plan their next Super Bowl. Champions plan their next World Series win. Champions like Kobe Bryant have that mindset and they talk to themselves like, I'll rest at the end, not in the middle. Isn't that our badass creed? To get to the end of your tour of duty, to slide into the grave sideways, yelling, holy shit, what a ride. Isn't that the goal? Isn't that to maximize every single day of the tour of duty that we're granted, that we're blessed with? Sure beats plateauing, sure beats mailing it in, sure beats, phoning it in. And I'll say one last thing. Anybody that I meet, okay, who's a businessman, an entrepreneur, a husband, a grandfather, and they're sad, and they're depressed, and they're unhappy, and they're miserable SOBs, without exception, they've all plateaued and given up. Every single one of them, years ago, mailed it in, years ago, phoned it in. They've plateaued and given it up. There is no championship. There is no next Super Bowl. There is no win they're chasing. They're stagnant and they're dying. They're part of the 99% walking dead. Harsh stuff. They're 99% of the walking dead. They're just existing. Instead of building a kingdom, building a world, building a relationship, building a legacy that your great, great, great grandkids can look back on and say, man, he was a badass. You don't get that response. You don't get that legacy by plateauing and mailing things in. So that's my message for today. A man without a mission is like a man without balls. What's your mission? I'm on a mission to help 1 million businessmen like you over the next 10 years transform your entire life and build a brand new world. I'm on a mission to help 1 million men blow their lives the fuck up. Not reinvent your marriage, not, rebuild your relationship with your kids. I want you to blow it up and rebuild it and your dream world, as your dream kingdom. Nothing great comes from a rebuild or a repair or a tweak or a hack. I'm talking about transformation here. World building is about transformation. Personal sovereignty doesn't come from, I'm working a little bit on my marriage, or I'm dabbling in marketing, or I'm trying to reconnect with my kids. Badasses burn it to the ground and rebuild it. That's what I did 19 years ago. I didn't like what I had. I didn't like what I saw. I looked at every area of my life, from my business to my marriage to my relationships, to what I wanted with children, the woman I wanted to marry, my physical health, my mental health, how I wanted to serve people. And I literally burned that old life to the ground and I never looked back. And then for the last 19 years, I've been building the kingdom, the world of my dreams. That's world building. That's world building, transformation, not tweaking. So if you're going to get on this roller coaster ride, you ain't going to do it mailing it in. You ain't going to do it phoning it in every third day because you're tired or you're fucking old. And how you talk to yourself, as I said earlier, is everything. Age is a number. Age is a number. And as long as you're on this earth, you can serve people and make an impact. So start doing it. Stop the feeling sorry for yourself act. Stop talking about the olden days and get going, becoming the best version of yourself. Become the most badass 60-year-old, 50-year-old, or 70-year-old on this planet. Now that's a goal worth chasing. If you want a copy of my controversial book, How to Not Get Your Ass Kicked in Business and in Life, you can get a copy at nobullbook.com. The link is below, nobullbook.com. If you want to subscribe to my paper newsletter, you can sign up to receive my October letter. You've already missed August and September. You can do that at badassletter.com. Remember to tell the most important people in your life, your secret weapon and your children, the most important people in your life, how much you love them and how much they mean to you before the sun sets. That's job number one. That's job number one. The most important people in your life are in your life, and they need to know it every day. Communication is critical. We live in the greatest time in history to be alive, 2022. Whether you claim it or not, whether you mail it in or whether you phone it in or don't, you still live in the most abundant, wealthiest time to ever be alive, 2020. We are awash. You and me are awash in abundance and opportunity like never before in history. This is the greatest time in history to be alive, to be in business, to be a husband, to be a father, to be a community leader right now. And you either claim that and use that, those advantages, those opportunities that other people don't have, this massive abundance. I'm standing on a dock shooting a video to thousands of people on a broken iPhone 7 at the end of a lake in a different country. Unlimited abundance, wealth, opportunity. But you got to claim it. You got to claim it. That's it for today. 2 words that change my life and 2 words that can change your life. Be relentless.